So Into the Dark has finally returned after a long hiatus, and we never knew if we were actually going to get the next episode in this. There's only 2 episodes left in season 2, and I was like, okay, I guess COVID just kind of brought this production to a halt and they may never come back. But recently they announced that they were doing a Valentine's Day episode in February, on February the 12th, which was today. And after watching Willy's Wonderland and Wrong Turn, I remembered this had dropped and was like, oh shit, cool. I get another Into the Dark film. Now, if you don't know what Into the Dark is, it's a Hulu original series where they do a new movie every month pertaining to the holiday of that month. This one, of course, being, as I said, Valentine's Day. Now, this is about a young, beautiful woman who's looking for a new home. And she runs into this guy who is a photographer, and they strike up a romantic relationship. And then throughout the process of the film, he finds out that she has some trouble in her past and there's some strange things going on. Now, with the title, there is a bit of an expectation here because of tentacles, and if you look at the poster, then you can probably surmise what's at least going to happen to a degree. I really enjoyed this. This would be my favorite Into the Dark film for sure. Now, this was written by Nick and Costa. I don't know how to say that guy's name, but he's the guy who created my favorite horror television series, Channel Zero. So anything that this guy is, a part of, I'm immediately going to be interested in. And what really worked for me here was not so much the horror, but was the romance. It was actually the romantic side of this because it's Valentine's Day. The film that this is going to get compared to by far the most would be the film Spring by Benson and Moorhead, which is a great film. It's better than this film. But I really, really bought into the relationship in this film. Like, I really liked them as a couple, and I genuinely had moments where I was like, feeling very romanticized. Like, they had a good chemistry to them, and it was fucking sexy. The film is very sexy. There's some stylized sex sequences that are done in like a sped up speed. I forget what they call that. And I really liked that. I was like, oh, I was not expecting that style here. And also, just there's a scene where she's asking him to tell her about his past. That's all I'll say on that. And while she does some stuff, and it was really, really hot. It was really, really fucking hot. So this is a very sexy and erotic film at times. And I as I said, she's a very attractive woman. But I so much more bought into the romance, and that's what was the driving force for the film. And then he has a friend who is a business partner of hers who I quite liked, even though she's not in the film a whole bunch. And then as the secrets come out and you start to piece what's going on here, it's like, okay. And there's some moments where something happened or something's happened. And I was like, oh, I see. That's why this is this. And that's what this means. Oh, cool. So I had a few of those moments, which I really enjoyed. The biggest downside of the movie is the CGI. Mostly pertaining to the tentacles themselves. I think that there's not going to be enough horror in this movie for some people who are really only watching it for that. But I feel like if you're a fan of Spring and you want to see like kind of a different version of it, a little bit maybe more of a darker version of it, this is good. I'm not going to say any more on that matter just because I feel like that could get into spoiler territory, but I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this. Towards the end, some of the ways things were going, I was not crazy about, but honestly, pretty little. There were, as I said, there were a couple things where I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know if I like that. I don't, But the majority of the film I was into. But as I said, you're gonna want to go into it for the romance side of things. If you like Spring, you should definitely check this out. That's what I would say. And if you haven't seen Spring, um, you know, check that out. If you like that, then watch this. Because Spring is the better of the two. But I did really enjoy this as well. So, this would be my favorite Into the Dark film, as I said. So, good return for them. A very solid return. But I don't know if this is going to find a huge audience because most of the people who watch that show are watching for horror. And there is definitely some here to be had for sure. But it's primarily focused on, as I said, the romance side of things. So we'll see what the horror community thinks. But this guy dug the shit out of it. So good return. Adios.